Hey you! Thank you so much for checking out another video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see, I will be recapping episodes 3 and 4 of Grown and Gospel. I hope you all are checking out this show. It does have its moments of sincerity and vulnerability, especially if you are a Christian and you attend church, you grew up in church, you will be able to relate to some of its content. So definitely check out this show on WeTV on Thursday nights. Or you can just check out my recaps here. Please do me a solid and hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. It will push this video into YouTube's algorithm, and it will reach other like-minded people who would enjoy this video. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. All right, so I have gotten the church announcements done, so let's jump right on in. So episode 3, it actually opens up before these two ladies go to a spa. It actually opens up at Brienne's house. So I'm guessing for those who are in the Metro Detroit area, it looks like she lives like in a suburb that's off of like one of the lakes, like Orchard Lake or Cass Lake. And Brienne was like sitting outside talking to Jay Brooks on FaceTime. He was in Mexico at the time, and he was basically just telling her how extra Elijah is, because remember, at the end of episode 2, it was Brienne's birthday, and Elijah made her cry of embarrassment when he put her boots in the trash, trying to say that they were not cute. And that was very mean and very uncalled for. So that was like the first couple minutes of the episode. So then we see Nikki and Tasha. They go to a spa so that Tasha can get her legs waxed. She wants to get her legs waxed because her husband is coming into town. They are currently separated, and she wants to feel soft and luxurious to him since he is coming into town for a moment. So that was the opening scene. So then we see where Elijah has set up this elaborate photo shoot that apparently he's paying for Brienne, and he asked her to come. The lady in the back, her name is Gwen Fox. She has been what sounds like a stylist to both the late great Aretha Franklin and the wonderful Anita Baker. So she has quite the resume. And Elijah actually hired her to style Brienne for this photo shoot. This was his way of saying, I'm sorry for being a butthole at her birthday party, but I don't care if it was, just the two of them kicking it at her house. You don't take her boots and put them in the trash as your way of saying that her fashion is trash. That's mean, and that's not being a friend, Elijah. And especially if you want to be this huge singer and you're doing this reality TV show, you do not want to turn off potential fans by treating this girl like crap. So this was her walking in, and she is actually, doggone it, Google Slides always does this to me. It kicked out the slide where I have her transformation, but they put this long blonde wig on Brienne, and she was wearing like some white jeans with like a pink glittery top. And then she had another scene where she was sitting on a bench in like a black dress. So she looked cute. It was cute. It was a nice gesture on Elijah. He obviously apologizes through actions. But yeah, spend your money on Brienne. You can do that. But Google Slides, that's so annoying. They're always like kicking out some of my slides because I had that for you all. But anyway, then after the photo shoot, we see where Brienne actually met up with Tasha at Brienne's house. And they are talking. They're actually going to really bond in this scene, y'all. As we've learned from like episode 1, Tasha said that she used to sing in strip clubs. And she brings that up to Brienne in this scene. She says that she would like sing at the strip club, and the females would dance around her. And then Brienne explained how after her parents' divorce, Brienne's dad is Fred Hammond, a magnificent gospel singer and songwriter. After their parents divorced, Brienne's mom went into a huge depression, and she was trying to figure out how to make ends meet. So her mom decided to go back to college to finish up her bachelor's degree and was really struggling financially. So Brienne decided to help her mom out by going to the strip club and working as a dancer. So she was actually the dancer at the strip club. And I really felt like Tasha and Brienne could understand each other in this scene. And that's very key for a friendship. I'm sure you would agree. So I thought that it was a beautiful moment. Even more, Brienne said that being at the strip club dancing, she's around, several beautiful women who are, butt naked. She said that was her experience with same sex attraction. Those were her words, same sex attraction. She did not say same sex relationships or same sex intimacy. So I don't know how far it went. Perhaps she is keeping that part to herself, but Brienne did not confirm in this scene if she's ever dated a woman or, if she just did not act out on her attraction. And then Tasha's response was, oh, yeah, I went through that too, from ages 14 to 19. But, again, Tasha was responding to the word same sex attraction. So I don't know, what that meant either. And she was much younger. Brienne would have been a young adult, I would hope, dancing in the strip club. So I just thought that it was a very important scene. One thing from my experience attending church on a regular basis, volunteering in the different groups at church and being very involved, there's always people there to judge you how you take care of things. They judge you on how you look heavily, and then people want to get all up in your business. They want to know where you work, if you're dating, this, that, and the third. And so it can make someone who is a believer actually hold back and not open up. And then when you have those experiences, whether it's singing in the strip club, dancing in the strip club, just going to the dance club, drinking, or, if you curse or if you struggle with gossiping, because the church is so judgmental, you're not willing to share all of who you are, including your flaws, including your weaknesses, because you're being judged on a good day. So you're like, well, forget it. There's no way I'm going to really be 100 with these people so they can really go in on me. And then sometimes if you're involved in the church and you really enjoy, doing a certain position, you're really going to hold back because you don't know if they're going to like kick you out of that volunteer position. I know that that sounds wild, especially because you would think that the church would be your safest place to be. But a lot of times it's not, unfortunately. So that's why it's so important to have that individual relationship with God. Because if you assume that God is the way that man is, you won't try to be close to him because you'll assume that he's not loving because you're basing it off of people who say that they believe in God and they love him and they study his word, but they're judgmental and mean and harsh all the time. So it's important to have that private time with God outside of the church building, just so that you can maintain that relationship. Here's the slide. Oh, so I put it in the wrong order. So this was the end result of Brienne's photo shoot that Elijah paid for. He treated her to it after being so mean to her at her birthday party. So this is that pink and silver glittery top, the long blonde wig, and she wore this with white pants, like white jeans. Let me know what you all thought of the wig. I felt like this wig was for a white woman. And even if Brienne is fair skinned, obviously as she is, it didn't seem like a right match ethnically. And I think that they assumed that she could pull it off because she's a light skinned Black woman. But I like her natural hair. So here we see Tasha Page Lockhart. She is meeting up with her mom, Miss Brooks, who is a gospel singer. She started out in a gospel group called Witness. And Tasha is talking to her mom about her marriage and being separated from her husband and him coming into town. And basically, the mom was just giving her a pep talk, letting her know that she loves her and she supports her. So it was a sweet moment. And then at the end, they hugged and prayed. And at the end of Tasha and Brienne's scene, where they talked about their experiences in the strip club, they prayed as well. So then we see this is Shayna, y'all. You know, sometimes these producers and editors, they don't put in a lot of like wide shots where you can see everyone's face that's involved in the scene. So I did not get Shayna's face, but of course you see Tasha. So they are meeting at like a cafe to talk about some gossip that Tasha heard, some he say, she say about Shayna allegedly talking ill about Tasha's marriage. Shayna denies it, and Tasha is it's like she's listening to her, but you can tell in her heart that she's not very receptive of it. But that is going to come back full circle. So then we see Tasha's husband. So they are at the house. She actually hired a personal chef to prepare a dinner for them. She also hired a violinist, y'all. I did not get a screenshot of that, but I thought that was so creative of her, thoughtful and romantic. It was a black male violinist, and he is standing to the side, to the right of Tasha in the living room area, playing the violin for them. It is so sweet, and they give each other gifts. And we also learn in this episode that Tasha cheated on this husband right here. This is her second marriage. This is their second separation, y'all. So they were separated the first time. Tasha said she didn't think they were going to get back together, so she had an affair. She did tell him, and it seems like perhaps, allegedly, in my opinion, that he has not forgiven her. They are separated, and it just seems like they don't have a lot of chemistry, y'all. I don't sense where he has truly missed her. It don't seem like he's lusting after his wife. And for all the church people, don't get mad because I said lusting. They are married. You know, I know the scripture, the bed of marriage is undefiled. Like when I say he's not lusting for her, I mean as her husband, he doesn't really seem like he wants her sexually, and so it just seems odd. They seem like two classmates from like elementary school. Like they didn't even date before. Like there's just no chemistry in this scene between the two of them. So then Tasha says, you know, I have another gift for you that I have to go get. And he goes, wow, I should have bought her a plane. He mumbles that when she leaves the room. Tasha comes back. She has changed out of that dress into like a little nightie, sort of, and she has her bare legs that she got waxed at the spa. Do y'all know this man rejected his wife? She walks over to him, extends her hand. He never grabs it. Tasha says, are you going to leave me hanging like this? You're not going to grab my hand? And he did not. He left her hanging on camera. How embarrassing. The two of you are married. You have not seen each other for several months, and he treated her that way. I thought that that was very disrespectful and mean. And it was pretty telling about how he feels about the relationship. I do not think that it is a priority to him. Let me know what you think. We have to see what the future holds for this couple. I don't like to speak negatively, especially about other people's lives, but I don't know, you guys. So then we have episode 4. This is the beginning. So Tasha goes over to Nikki's house, which I love Nikki's energy because she is so non-judgmental. But anyway, Tasha tells her, you know, he came over. You were with me when I got my legs waxed. I hired a violinist, a personal chef, and he would not be intimate with me. Then at the end of that episode, the very end, y'all, the husband tells the camera crew to come and unmic them. And then Tasha says in this episode 4, in this scene, she tells Nikki that he later that night texted her saying that you can come to the hotel. Nikki had a serious problem with that, and I do not blame her. Nikki said that, you know, oh, so you don't want me at the house, but you want me to come over to the hotel. I felt like Tasha's husband wanted to embarrass her. That's another reason why I don't think that he has forgiven her, because he wants her to be embarrassed and then privately text her like a booty call. Again, it's like they're not married. And he wants to text her like a booty call. And I mean, to me, she didn't really explicitly say, and I went to the hotel, but I think that I think she did go to the hotel, and I think that they were intimate. She also, let me go back for a minute to episode 3 in her confessional. Tasha did say pretty much in summary that she has like a high sex drive, I guess. So she felt like, she wanted to do something with him. That's her husband. And, she's in this scene, she's telling Nikki, I had an affair. Nikki didn't know that. And she said, 6 months into the marriage, he's not kissing me. He's not touching me. He's not telling me that he loves me anymore. So she had the affair. I'm not saying that she's right. That's wrong to cheat on your spouse. But this guy, he seems a little bit of a douchebag, not very nice. And I don't know what's up with that. Why 6 months in and all of a sudden you act like you're not interested in your wife anymore? What do y'all think could be some possible reasons? Let me know in the comments. But basically, Nikki says here that she supports Tasha. In her confessional, Nikki said, if he's not willing to make the marriage work, deuces. And I agree. So then we see Elijah and Brienne. They are meeting up in a baby store because they are planning a surprise baby shower for Shayna Williams, the gospel singer, whom Tasha accused of speaking ill on her marriage about. So it's a surprise baby shower, and Elijah was irritated with Brienne because she was an hour and a half late. That would annoy me too. For once, I agree with Elijah. And Brienne actually works a 9 to 5, y'all, during the day. It sounds like she may be like a loan officer. She said that she tries to get people loans to buy investment properties. So she may work like, I don't know if it's hard money loans, but she specifically said investment properties. So that's the type of home occupancy that she writes loans for. So that's good. At least she has some income coming in. So then this scene, that is Elijah that is leaning over Brienne, giving her a hug. In this group scene, we see that Brienne told everyone that she used to be a stripper and that she was helping her mom out financially when she needed money, and Brienne was stripping. She was dancing to help out her mom. They all were very receptive. The people who obviously knew was Tasha and then Jay Brooks. So they said, we don't judge you. Shayna is wearing a bob wig in this scene, and she's sitting next to Jay Brooks to the right. She was actually like, well, did you strip at a place or for your husband? And Brienne said, no, I was at a place. I was at a strip club. And they were saying, none of us can judge and do not care what the gospel community says, because they are some of the most judgmental people. Elijah said that in his confessional, and again, I agree with Elijah. I guess hell has frozen over. Now, that's true. And, some people, I'm sure you've heard of the term church hurt. Some people will leave the church over hurt because, in my opinion, like when people go to church, they're either dealing with their marriage could be in the toilet, they could be dealing with a health crisis or losing a loved one or struggling financially. So when they're going in, they're already vulnerable. And when you call them out because you can see their tattoos or how they're dressed, they're not feeling very safe or loved, and they already need that love. And I just think that's something that church people do not get. You can't even say that it's some old people. It's not even always an age thing. Some people in their 30s and 40s are just as judgmental as well. It's that individual that, they're wearing the big church hat and the expensive suit, and pulling up in their ride at the church and giving their tithes and knowing that they give a lot of money to this church. They feel like they're shareholders in the church because they give monetarily, and they're just very entitled. Like, there are some church Karens definitely walking around. All right. So then we see Nikki, talking to her husband. He is locked up right now. And she says, hey, King. And he's like, hey, my queen. And then she was telling him about Brienne opening up, saying that she used to strip. And so she said that she likes to tell her husband everything. So obviously, I guess in her mind, she sees it as a long distance relationship. I guess she just doesn't judge or worry about what he did to get him in the jail. But yeah, this was a scene where they were communicating. And then we see where Tasha actually met with a divorce lawyer, just hearing about, I guess, some of the steps or her options. And she actually gets emotional and then she gets up and leaves. So I remember her saying in that scene with Nikki when she told her about how he rejected her sexually, she was saying that, nobody wants to be twice divorced. But see, with her saying that, it's making me think that she would stay in the marriage just to not be twice divorced. And I don't think that that's a good idea at all. Because again, that is you operating from a place of worrying about what others think of you. And who cares what they think? Nobody can judge you. Nobody is perfect. And then just don't care. Don't care what people say and think. You just live your life. You don't harm nobody and go on. So then this scene, I had to break up the two screenshots because again, they don't do a lot of wide shots, but it's actually everyone minus Brienne. And I do find this interesting. In my opinion, Jay Brooks must have been the one who set up this scene. He must have texted Nikki, Tasha, and Elijah. Because who did they talk about? Brienne. I swear, y'all, I believe that Jay Brooks had or currently has a crush on Brienne. And I think that he's had a crush on her for years. And I believe that she rejected him and married another guy. And Jay Brooks is feeling a way about it because he brought them all here. I think they may be at Nikki's house, but he's bringing up Brienne saying, oh, I think her career is going to take a hit because she's living her truth and saying that she used to be a stripper. And the rest of them all disagree with Jay Brooks. And I disagree with Jay Brooks too. Why would you speak negatively over your so-called friend's career because she's being honest about her past, helping her mom out because she was struggling financially? Why would you say that? Why would you speak negatively over her career? So I'm like, Jay Brooks is either being a really fake friend or he is being, is kind of giving bitch ass. And it just sounds like he liked her and she rejected him. And that's just something that they're not bringing to the show. But that's what I think happened. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all agree. So then this was the other half of the table with Elijah and Jay Brooks. So in this scene, Tasha gets mad at Elijah because she's trying to confide in the guys about how her husband rejected her sexually. And Elijah is cutting her off. He's like, really? You hired a violinist and a personal chef? Why would you do all that? And his questions are annoying her because she can't get her thoughts out. And, Elijah, yeah, just because, see, this is another thing that I can't stand about some people. When you do something that they didn't think of, or they haven't done before, or they did not advise you to do, they're like, really? You hired a violinist? You hired a personal chef? Yeah, she didn't need to come to you on ideas to make a romantic date night for her husband, Elijah. You are not the Wizard of Oz. You do not have all of the answers. You're certainly not God. So just shut up and let her finish her story. So then Tasha gets frustrated and says, well, Jay, I'll just tell you another time when it's just you and I. And then Elijah goes, well, what? Why would you start the story and then cut it off? Because, Negro, you won't shut up. So she gets mad and leaves, and I cannot blame her. And that is that scene. So then we have the baby shower, y'all. So this is probably like the last 10, 12 minutes of the episode. And it was really sweet. They had this huge candy bar, the candy table. It's decorated in pink. I assume Shayna's having a girl. And Elijah and Brienne did really good. And when Tasha first comes in, Elijah's not there yet. Elijah is late for the baby shower, but nobody checks him, of course. Tasha says, she's trying to tell everyone about her date night with her husband, and Elijah is giving his feedback. And Brienne had already said, yeah, he cut you off, so then she totally understood. I actually can see Brienne and Tasha being good friends because they have a connection where I feel like they understand each other. It's a beautiful thing. So, Shayna comes in. She was sincerely surprised. You see Elijah to the left in the purple jacket, and then that's Shayna's husband and their little boy. And in the baby shower, Elijah pulls Tasha to the side, and Tasha says, "I don't want to go back and forth with you. I don't want to talk with you unless you're going to apologize." And Elijah would not confirm if he would apologize to her. Then he says, lower your voice or lower your tone. And she just walked away and left out of the baby shower altogether. Jay Brooks, while sitting down, says, you need to watch how you talk to Tasha. But see, he never had that energy for Elijah when Elijah was embarrassing Brienne at her own birthday party. I'm telling y'all, Jay Brooks, it seems like he likes her, or he once really did love Brienne or fell in love with her and she rejected him. And he's got it, he's kind of got it out for her, allegedly, and in my opinion. But that was the episode 4, y'all. Grown in Gospel is a solid show. It has these moments, again, if you attend church or grew up in church, where these discussions have to be had. Also, in this baby shower scene, Tasha says to Shayna, I thought about what you said when they met at the cafe. Basically, I realized that you did not say those things about my marriage. Whoever told me that, they were lying. And now, I wasn't receptive when you said it, but now I am. So it sounds like, how you have a conversation with someone, and good or bad, like afterwards, you may sleep on it, or you may get home and think, they were talking shit about me. They just tried to home me. But in this case, Tasha processed it and she was like, she didn't say that. Shayna is telling the truth and so lied. Like Tasha had to go home and process it and then figure out what was what. And that's fine. That's fine. Everything's not going to be made clear, right then in the moment. You may have to go back and process it. That's totally fine. So she came to the baby shower with a gift, and her and Shayna talked, and they're good. And she did it in front of Nikki too, which I'm glad, because Nikki was acting, funky towards Shayna because of her friendship with Tasha. And I really don't like stuff like that. That's giving high school. So I'm glad that Tasha talked it out with Shayna in front of Nikki. So maybe, the childish games will stop. But let me know what you all thought about these 2 episodes. I believe we have 2 more. WeTV just ordered 6 episodes. And please, thumbs up this video. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe and share this video on your social media. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm about to go see the Air Jordan movie about, the Nike company putting together the very first pair of Air Jordans and negotiating that deal with Michael Jordan, living legend. So I will let y'all know how it is. Enjoy your weekend and take good care. Bye-bye.